Hello everyone, welcome to the Styrian Mountains, and as it is the Austrian Grand Prix, we're here for round 21 out of 22 then, and yes, this is as we're coming to the end of the IRC World Championship, which has been a very it's been a very interesting season, hasn't it? And so yeah, let's see how this one progresses, shall we? As I quickly get the old stream up as well. Then then let's go for the drivers and the constructors standings. Then and as you can see, we've got a new date. We've got a new driver tonight. Then that has participated in IRC for the first time. We'll keep an eye on his progress. But before we do so, let's take a look at the drivers and the constructors standings. Steve currently, of course, he is the world champion already. Steve is near 151 points in front of T. Sammy, who's second. No T. Sammy here tonight then, but his second position is not going to be under threat then, because he is confirmed second already now. Timmy and Matt, that is the closest battle on in terms of the world championship position, and in third and fourth position. Roscoe is almost within touch and distance there, but he needs to at least, he needs to be on the podium then without Timmy or Matt scoring in, anything above 7 for above, I think, according to me, mental arithmetic. 8th position is double. He's jumped up 2 positions. Maxi and Hogg, 9th and 10th position apiece, and that's a great old scrap then for 8th, 9th and 10th. Val in 11th position. Mason is 12th and so 6 points away from Val. Sprint, who's back in action, is not in 13th position, then Brown in 14th, JJ in 15th position, Scenario 7th, 16th, Penny 17th, Gaz 18th, PB in 19th position. Then on board with new Dark Destroyer, and let's see what Destroyer could do then. And I wonder if he's going to destroy these at times as well as they go. On the crystal, Rachel Hughes and 10. Go on, Shaney, brackets, new Dark Destroyer then. And well, here comes Shaney coming across the line then, and he puts us first time on the board of a 10.7. Good stuff indeed. In the Constructors' Championship, the Red Bull team are leading they've won the Constructors, haven't they? 446 points out in front of the Alpha Tauri. They're defending Constructors' Champions, and they are no longer the Constructors' Champions, so they can't be defenders, can they? No, they can't. But they are second, and Mercedes in third position, and there are quite some big gaps in the constructors moment, but it's very close between the racing point, Mercedes and Alfa Romeo, and this ain't going to be settled, I don't think, until the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix in a week's time. Abu Dhabi? I'm in the wrong world, aren't I? I think that the final race, of course, as we do random calendars, it's in China in a week's time. Renault in 6th position, then McLaren are 7th, then Ferrari 8th. Williams is 3 points behind the Ferrari team. Haas, that we're on watching now, in 10th position, and Steve has gone fastest thus far. Of course, unfortunately, I haven't got no Fizzy tonight, as he is not in the. I think he's gone on holiday, hasn't he, there? So I hope he's having a lovely time on holiday then. Just watching Steve, who's currently fast, and there's a lot of drivers out on those intermediate tyres because this qualifying one session, this is more of a practice session. This qualifying one session is there, so it's a bit unfortunate. There's a double then coming out of the final turn, and he is going to put a time on the board. He needs to be careful though, of course, when there's drivers on intermediate tyres on a dry track, you will have drivers there that might which might unfortunately come across each other then, so they've got to be very careful. It's not, of course, they are going to want to be saving tyres, don't they? Well, in terms of the strategy around here, I presume it's going to be a one-stopper. It's the softer to the medium tyres. Oh, it's Brown there, has spun it there in the Williams, but he hasn't touched anything too hard, so he's just going to getting himself steady, and back away he goes. And so I nearly swallowed my tongue now. Here, back on board the debutant in Dark Destroyer. I'm just interested to see what Dark Destroyer can do then. Is him and Petty then just almost coming to blows there. Oh gosh, he has come to blows there, and Steve, I think it's Steve then who's gone into it. Dark Destroyer's got a 5-place grid penalty, as he is him and the world champion have come to blows, unfortunately there. Dark Destroyer, and it's very difficult to get, he's run out of fuel, hasn't he, Dark Destroyer? That is why he's limping home. Goodness me then, that's a very eventful start then to the Grand Prix. Well, to the Grand Prix event, I should say, then, Dark Destroyer, as he is just coming back into the pits as well. But of course, it's very difficult, isn't it? There's only 2 races to go in IRC, and of course, Dark Destroyer is coming in at the back end of the season, isn't he? And so it's very difficult, isn't it, for Dr. Destroyer to get up and run in, kind of speak, isn't he? But he's definitely giving it a whirl, isn't he, Dr. Destroyer? But he's currently 6 faster, and Asdog, who's on the intermediate tires, coming into the pits as well. So we might be expecting a rain cloud or two, perhaps. Here's Penny then, who, of course, he had to take evasive action as well, as he was just trying to avoid Destroyer. On board then with Penny at the moment, and he is currently on the set of time to check. Sprint also back in action as well. I think he's only sprints like 4th Grand Prix start this season. Unfortunately, he's had to work more often than not, hasn't he? Remember, I think at the end of last season, I was predicting that Sprint will be putting on a championship charge, but unfortunately, he hasn't been able to this season, has he? With the issues with his working arrangements, unfortunately. Penny comes across the line, and he goes at third fastest then. So Penny goes third fastest then, about 2/10 seconds away from Roscoe, who's got the benchmark time at the moment. We've got JJ who's back out on circuit. He is in 6th position, and Roscoe's gone faster still. So good stuff indeed there for Roscoe. And of course, at these times that no one should be, as long as you do not damage your car beyond repair, you should be okay in this one. And so really, that is so it's just all about I don't think JJ's got any hands. Has he? Hey, look, no hands. Well, JJ's got no hands in turning the steering wheel. Wow, he is a very talented driver, isn't he, JJ? Isn't he? He's really showing it tonight, isn't he? As he is turning the steering wheel with his mind. Impressive. Timmy then, who's just started up again then. We got Penny. Oh, goodness me. Penny there is taking over from Bottas in terms of the lawnmower in business there. So Penny now is just, or maybe he's just carrying on from where Bottas left off then, because unfortunately Bottas didn't finish the job, did he? Roscoe just flying past us now, and there is the Racing Point car. Of course, Roscoe then is using a set of tires. Is that going to be crucial in the Grand Prix? Perhaps, but at the moment, Roscoe's probably not too concerned about the Grand Prix at the moment. Of course, he has already had a Grand Prix win this season then, so who am I to question him then? Well, Roscoe's going for another body charge. Well, there's 3 DRS zones around here. This is a short, sharp track, this one is. It's going to be the quickest in terms of lap time for all of the seasons. We're already into the 1:04s already, and this track is fairly green. There's a Williams well off the circuit. Oh, it's Dart Destroyer then, just trying to find his feet here in Austria then. I've got to say, it's a very tough circuit to make your debut on, isn't it, here in IRC. So we'll see how Dart Destroyer does. We're on board with Dart Destroyer now then, as he is just coming into turn 3 and 4. Of course, that is cool. Oh, it's turn 4, isn't it? Here we go then with my usual groan about the turn numbers around here, the corner numbers. There's 10 turns on this circuit now rather than 9 then. Of course, they've added an extra turn going up into the second hairpin, which is now the 3rd corner. Of course, anyway, that is due to MotoGP, isn't it? That is classed as a turn, isn't it? So it's also a turn in the Formula 1 as well. That's what I heard on the Formula 1 feed then anyway when they was last year. Roscoe's gone fast again and extending his advantage there. Good stuff indeed that Roscoe's done 6 laps on those soft tyres. As a Destroyer then going through turn 1 there, you've got to say hack sort of way at that steering wheel there, Destroyers, and he's not leaving anything on the table, is he? And there it's going up into the turn 2, which is not a turn to me, but it is. Oh gosh, he's really overshot there, hasn't he? Destroyer has there, and he's just getting himself back onto the track as well. Goodness me, then I think that those brakes must have been a bit too cool there for Dart Destroyer's liking, then, but he is. I believe he's getting on with it nonetheless. Dart Destroyer. I think this is this is going to be a learning session for Dart Destroyer. But I think that luckily for Dart Destroyer, I think the not many cars are going to be out here at the moment. So this is a perfect opportunity for Dart Destroyer to get his feet under the table here in RRC, and let's see what he can do in that Williams car as well, as he flies past us as well. As of course he's in place for Val, who's unfortunately not racing here tonight, as they're coming over the crest of the hill now. Then 8 minutes to go in this first qualifying 1 session. Then now into the final turn of turn 10 as well. DRS right on the way there for Dart Destroyer. He was a bit slow on the DRS button there, but I think that he was not going to be too concerned about that, because that was not his quickest lap, was it? He is also that's another couple of laps on those tires as well. Steve and unfortunately Dart Destroyer came to blows at that turn there, didn't they? As it was quite a It was quite a, of course, Steve was flying at quite a rate of knots going for that turn there. Of course, there is, I think Dark Destroyer was having, was of course coming into the pits, limping home, as he had a limping home there because, of course, he was just on low fuel mode, wasn't he? Steve comes into the pits, and of course, he's the world champion of RC. I think that last week was the first time in about, I think it was about 11 races, 12 races where he had it, where he didn't actually win a Grand Prix. I'll get me a stat book up in a minute, but that is ridiculous, isn't it? I don't think, I keep saying it, oh, it's Dark Destroyer there, it's just found the gravel there, but I keep saying it week in, week out then, but Steve, I think all the records he broke this season, I don't think it's going to be broken again. I don't think it will ever, no one's going to have a season like that ever again, I don't think, or this season like this ever again. Sam Carton in the comments there, good evening, hello Sam, I hope you're having a lovely, splendid first afternoon. I certainly, well, I am now because I'm indoors and I'm safe and sound away from that blaring hot sun then, which has very much burned me like a crisp then, I gotta say, because I'm looking very much like a lobster at the moment then. Roscoe there just sorting his car out then. Looks like Dark Destroyer's ran out of fuel there, hasn't he? So unfortunately he's at turn 1 there, so Dark Destroyer's gonna have to limp home there, isn't he? So that's not ideal for Dark Destroyer. Timmy has gone purple in the second sector, and that's quite a strong second sector there for Timmy as he comes into turn 9 and now into turn 10 as well. Let's see what he can do then. What time is he going to put on the board then? DRS right on the money. Timmy goes third fastest there. Whisker behind Steve. Well, I said Whisker behind Steve, but Steve has just lowered the benchmark again. And as I mentioned last week, I would not like to play limbo with Steve, as he seems to get lower than anyone else then. Roscoe's done almost 9 laps out there on circuit, and Roscoe really pounding in the laps, isn't he? There, he's very much. It's a learning curve. It's a learning game for Roscoe, isn't it? Just making sure that he can get some. Just making sure that he can get some nice. Some nice track knowledge out of this one tonight, isn't he? So good stuff indeed there for Roscoe. Great. Just watching Dark Destroyer then coming back into the pits head as well. Dark Destroyer should be through into qualifying 2. Everyone is through into qualifying 2 at this stage of proceedings. Dark Destroyer then just cruising up and over the crest of the hill now, and I think he'll be feathering into the pits, hopefully. There's a car coming up behind him of Timmy. Hopefully Timmy will see the yellow flags. He will see the yellow flags. He does see the yellow flags, and he carries on as well. Timmy does that. Turn 9 and 10, and I've got to say, it's a beautiful end to the lap, isn't it? I've got to say, a very much adrenaline rush, isn't it? Timmy goes second fastest in the Mercedes as well. Roscoe, there he is, and popping over the crest of the hill. Then you can see that the car is bobbling up and down. Lovely indeed as Roscoe comes into the pits then, and I think that Roscoe's going to be very happy with that run. And that was a very strong, long run indeed there for Roscoe. Really impressed indeed, and of course that's a very good opportunity there to just talk about Azerbaijan in this week as well. Then, of course, Formula 1 is back in action after Monaco wasn't exactly the greatest race in the world, was it? But I think in terms of the World Championship, it's absolutely perfect there. I think the first time since Germany 2018 that we have a different World Championship leader which is not a Mercedes driver. Absolutely ridiculous, isn't it? That is fantastic. Love this helicam shot. Timmy is very much trying to find the edge of the grip there, isn't he, in that Mercedes in car 81 then. And Timmy has said, of course, we had 2 Grand Prix around here last season, didn't we? In Formula 1 trim there, of course, it was the Austrian Grand Prix, then the Styrian Grand Prix. I think we're having the same thing this season as well, aren't we? As Timmy has lost 10th or 2nd in that final sector there. And we're going to have the same thing this season, aren't we? As the Turkish Grand Prix has unfortunately been scrapped from the calendar, which is absolutely heartbreaking, isn't it? Because we had a great Turkish Grand Prix last year, didn't we? Fantastic race there. And of course, where Lewis Hamilton clinched the World Championship. He was a 7-time World Champion after the Turkish Grand Prix in a very fine style, wasn't it? A really good stuff indeed there for Lewis Hamilton, and of course that made my day as well, because in fact I'm a super fanboy, as Timmy now is just crawling back to the pits as well. And Jan saying evening, Sean. Then good evening, Jan. I hope you're having a lovely, splendid day. As Timmy now is just coming down to turn 4. This is where Alex Albon and Hamilton came to blows out, didn't they? As of course, very in 2020, the Austrian Grand Prix, the first Austrian Grand Prix of that season as well. Of course, Hamilton was a bit off his game, wasn't he, in that out to opening race there. But goodness me, the next race there is qualifying was second to none. That very heavily soaked track, wasn't it? Round two in round two of 2020. It was a great qualifying session, wasn't it? Dark Destroyer coming out again, and he's on the same tires as Dark Destroyer. So do not look too much into his times here, because he is just I think he's doing a long run, isn't he? And I hope as the Williams mechanic said, just adjusting something for Dark Destroyer there. He was just trying to seeing what he could do. Then look at that, Dark Destroyer is absolutely well, goodness me, there. Look at those tire tracks on the floor as he flew out of the garage there. Very nice indeed there. Back on board with Dark Destroyer as he has just gone all off there, and goodness me, then I think those tyres there might be past their premium here, as he's just trying to get back on to the circuit as well. And there he is then for Dark Destroyer, as oh goodness me, as he is out of oh gosh, he's out of qualifying now. Dark Destroyer is I'm hoping that he should be in qualifying too there, but he's just parked to the side. And we just take a look there. We've got 3 cars anyway. To Satana Dawson also making a return to IRC. I think he's had 2 Grand Prix appearances this season, so this will be his 3rd one tonight as well. Less than 2 minutes ago in this qualifying session before we get on to qualifying 2 then as well. Then, so that's a very nice warm up, isn't it? So good stuff indeed. And unfortunately, there wasn't too much of a competitive edge in that first qualifying session, but don't you worry, folks. There will be a competitive edge in the second qualifying session, which will be coming up in just a jiffy as well. If it's worth anything, Steve is fast, and of course it's worth everything, isn't it? Because it's all about the mind games, isn't it, in Formula 1? But Steve is fast. 3/10 of a second in front of Timmy in second. Roscoe in third position. He's done the most lappage in this first qualifying session. Now 9 laps on those soft tyres. That's a pretty extensive run time now for Roscoe. Penny in 4th position. Hogg is in 5th. Dawson 6th with JJ 7th and Gaz 8th position. 9th is Dark Destroyer. 10th is Sprint. Asdog in 11th. Double Cream Cat in 12th. Matt 13th. Brown in 14th position then. So that is the running order going through into qualifying 2 then. And now just confirmation that Dark Destroyer might almost certainly be, unfortunately, starting in the back of the grid. Then, unfortunately, he got a 5-place grid penalty as you seen him crawling to the back of the crawling, didn't he? And unfortunately, Steve just came to blows. And luckily, Steve's Red Bull is quite strong because it was built in Milton Keynes, wasn't it? So luckily for Steve, that he didn't have a major damage. Well, he had a bit of damage to his front wing, but not too much damage there. And luckily, he can continue. Can he? But unfortunately, Dark Destroyer has been thrown. The book has been thrown at him. He's got a 5-place grid penalty for his effort there. Unfortunately, for Dark Destroyer, as we're now going into qualifying 2 then for the Austrian Grand Prix. Round 21 this one is then, and let's see then who is going to be in the top 10 and who is going to be out of the top 10. That is what we're going to be finding out now. And of course, get me a telemetry up as well. I haven't heard anything about rain yet, though. But I gotta say, just keeping a look in the sky. More often than not, it does rain around here, doesn't it? As of course, we are quite high up in the Styrian Mountains, aren't we? Here tonight. So, are we expecting rain? Well, it isn't forecast to rain according to me. According to my sources, which my sources are 0. But I would probably bet my bottom dollar that we will be seeing a sprinkling of rain in this session tonight, and whether that's in qualifying 2, 3, or the race remains to be seen, doesn't it, Bear? But I do expect a bit of the wet stuff falling from the sky. And we've got one of the Williamsons coming out there, as that was Brown then. So we've got cars on track now then. Asdog is out on circuit moment in car 22. Asdog was looking very strong last time out, wasn't he? As he comes into turn 3 as well. We've seen some action over there, action in that quarter over the years, haven't we? Remember 2016, of course, there, where Rosberg and Hamilton came to blows there. And Toto Wolff was a very unhappy boss, wasn't he? Also, the horrific accident with Nick Heidfeld and Takuma Sato Sato in 2002, where I think Nick Heidfeld dropped it. I'm not sure if he had a mechanical failure or whatnot, but he dropped it, didn't he? And then Takuma Sato was unfortunately in the wrong place in the wrong time, and it was a huge smash, wasn't it, to say the least? No, that was unfortunate for Takuma Sato. Of course, back in '99 as well, where Hakkinen and Coulthard came to blows then. Unfortunately, I hate to say it, but it was Coulthard's fault. That is, he took a dive on the inside of Hakkinen, and what made it worse is that he didn't win the Grand Prix with Coulthard, didn't he? Let Eddie Irvine in to take his second career victory in the Ferrari, and it was just a couple of, well, it was a race after when Schumacher broke his leg, didn't he, in the British Grand Prix. Now, it was very much a nice pick-me-up there for the Ferrari team, wasn't it? Now, and Irvine, of course, went on to almost win the World Championship in 1999, but Mika Hakkinen became a double world champion in the McLaren, didn't he? It was but potentially then it was a very close run thing, wasn't it, in that championship? Looking back on 99, it's a very surreal year, wasn't it, really? Of course, Schumacher breaking his leg, then unfortunately that's one of the championship contenders gone, and I think at the half after that British Grand Prix, there was a bit of it did feel like it was probably McLaren's to lose, that didn't it? But Eddie Irvine had a great resurgence, didn't they? Of course, super sub Mika Salo, I think he did an alright job with the Friday. He should have won the Grand Prix in Hockenheim, shouldn't he, really? But of course he did the did he do the right thing? Well, of course he did ask by Ferrari to let the Eddie Irvine go past for the championship, didn't he, in the German Grand Prix? But of course, Irvine was challenging for the championship. Well, so Mika Salo wasn't, but I think that Mika Salo would be very happy with second place. So I think that was his best result of his career, wasn't it, if I'm not very much mistaken. As Dog comes across the line, he is faster. Sprint has gone second fastest. Timmy is gone faster so far, but he is on those soft tyres, of course. Timmy is in, so that is, so we might have a bit of a pace advantage at this moment in time. And there's a lot of cars out on circuit run. And Steve's just gone the fastest of the medium runners. But of course, he's not the fastest of the all-time runners at the moment, because Timmy has gone on to those soft tyres. Matt has gone for fastest in the Alfa Romeo. Fourth position is Gaz in the Haas car as well. Gaz had a very strong second half of the season, as has JJ as well. Here comes Hogg out of turn 10 then, and he has just got him in the third fast. Good 17 there for Hogg, brilliant stuff. We got Double then out to the final turn, and Double comes up to the line. Double is sixth fast, and he is the leader of the Mika Hakkinen championship trophy. I need to find those results. I need to find I'm sure they're in the chat, so I'll have a look at. I'll run down those standards in just a jiffy. There, Dark Destroyer that is just gone at 12th fast at the moment now on those soft tyres. And we've got a Haas of Penny then. Let's go on board with Penny, shall we? So we're coming up into turn number 1 as well then. Of course, this track has been on and off the calendar, hasn't it? Over numerous years, hasn't it? Of course, under different names as well. It was the A1 ring when it returned back to the Formula 1 scene back in 1997 now. And that was a very unusual Grand Prix, wasn't it? If anyone remembers, we very much as Penny there was completely misjudged that turn there. Unfortunately, he's lost a bit of time there, Penny has. Remember, we're going to be losing the slowest 4 drivers in this qualifying session. The top 10 drivers will have to will be going through into the into the top 10 shootout, of course. Then, so keep an eye on who's in the top 10 then, because they'll be going for pole position then for the Austrian Grand Prix. Look at those break this glowing then. Yellow flags then is we got one of the Alfa Romeo, so I think they might have had a trip somewhere now to come into the pits. Penny then is just coming up and over the hill as well then. We've got Rachel Hughes saying, come on Shane and Gaz then. Well, Gaz in a very strong 6th position now. Shane then, who's the new Dark Destroyer, and he's also making his debut tonight in 13th position. And where is Shane at the moment? And here he is then, as he is trying to warm up those tyres on that Williams, isn't it? They look a bit cool at the moment. And the reason why, if you look up there is a dark cloud starting to arrive over the Austrian circuit. Oh goodness me, we have got some rain afoot, have we? Or is it just becoming overcast? When I see dark clouds, I get very excited indeed. That Penny 69 seconds down on his first split time then, so he might have to put his toe down here slightly. Yes, when I see dark clouds, I do assume that there'll be rain then, and this is going to get very good indeed, isn't it? So don't go anywhere, folks, because yes, when it rains, it is good. Really spice up the action, doesn't it, in Formula 1 then. On board with Penny then, as he is coming into the final part lap, but 9/10 of a second up in the second sector. Penny is motoring, isn't he? Very good stuff indeed in the Haas car. His teammate is currently Well, just as I say that, Penny, I think, is backed off there, so I'm not sure what happened there with Penny, but he was quite considerably quicker, wasn't he, in the Haas car? Unfortunately, he's abandoned that time and come back into the pits. Dark Destroyer has improved again. Look at that. He's, I think that he has absolutely improved night and day. Really good stuff indeed there. Matt is out on the medium tires again, and I think those are old medium tires, aren't they? As we're now coming out. Oh, it's a Dark Destroyer there. It's completely misturned up for red to free. Well, it's turn 2 in my book, isn't it? But there we go. Unfortunately, I won't be able to. I ain't going to argue with the FIA because I might be in trouble then. We got Fizzy saying, sorry I'm missing, lads. I hope you all have a great race. And of course, Fizzy on holiday. Oh goodness me, it's Dark Destroyer spun it in the gravel trap there. Of course, Fizzy on holiday. I hope he has I hope you have a cracking holiday, Fizzy. And of course, we look forward to seeing you when you come back. We have got I've got a really itchy foot again. I don't know what's going on. I think to be honest, I think that isn't it itchy? Is it itchy hands though? Is where like money's coming, isn't it? So I don't know what itchy feet mean. I don't know. Perhaps I'm just dirty and needs a shower. Perhaps that's probably my problem there. So there we go. Might have to get the old soap and links out, and on me smelly feet. But I definitely know that itchy hands does mean that money comes in, doesn't it? I do believe the old wives' tales and things like that. There, of course. Of course, I also don't like. I think what's it like? Don't walk under a ladder either. Don't break a mirror and all that kind of stuff. Yep, very superstitious I am indeed that. As we got Roscoe out of the final turn, and he goes third fastest then on those medium tires then in the racing point as well, then coming up into turn number 1 then. A good time there from Roscoe. So great stuff there. Now we got Dark Destroyer then, who is 10th for second up in the first split time. Now good stuff indeed then. Here comes Lawson, and this is the first time I said Lawson. I love that helmet, by the way. That's a fantastic helmet, isn't it? Look at that beautiful dark purple. Oh my word, that magnificent stuff there for Lawson. He is currently only got 12 points in the Mika Hakkinen trophy, hasn't he? But he's into 4 fastest now. Lawson is he is going to be very happy with that one, isn't he? Great stuff indeed there for Lawson. He's in front of his teammate as well. It's a very experienced teammate. So that is really throwing the gauntlet down, is there? Matt then is out of the final turn as well. Matt, does he improve his time? He does improve his time by 0.2 of a second. He is 5th fastest. And of course, he is just trying to get through qualifying 1 at this stage of proceedings, isn't he? Gaz is abandoning his time. He's only 0.3 of a second out there, so he's abandoning his time. He's come back into the pits now. So Gaz said, I wonder if he's going to throw on a new set of soft tyres. Brown is 0.9 of a second up in the second split time. Very good stuff indeed then. And now he's got over the crest there as well. Yellow flags is fluttering in. It's just for the racing point of Roscoe, who is going to be very happy with his time, isn't he? So he's thrown the gauntlet down, come back into the pits there. He's going to put his feet up now and probably enjoy the rest of qualifying 2 then for Roscoe. Or is there a twist? Is there a sting in the tail in this one? Of course, you have to get through into qualifying 3. You have to be 10th or below that, or below, otherwise you're not through. So Roscoe may be happy with that time at the moment, but is the track going to get quicker and quicker? There might be dry evolution as well as track evolution in this one. So Roscoe cannot be too relaxed out there, can he? Same with Steve and Timmy as well. Dawson in a great full finish mode. A very good stuff indeed there. Dawson really showing some impressive performance there. PB has joined the session as well. Oh, it's Penny has hit the bit of the curb there, and he's been sent out wide, but still 8th fastest there, almost 2 seconds out there. Val then is just in the comments as well. As he's just shouted evening. Hello, Val. I hope you're having a splendid day as well. This is the first race that Val has missed this season as well, unfortunately, for the Williams team. But it's good to see him in the comments as well. And great stuff, Fed. Sprinting is also good to see Sprint also in action as well in the Renault car. I think it's only his 4th Grand Prix start tonight, isn't it? For sprinters, unfortunately, he had to adjust his work schedule, didn't he? Or is it schedule? No, it's schedule, isn't it, in the UK? And then in America, it's schedule, I think. Possibly. I don't know, to be honest. I work with Microsoft, and I think they're an American company, aren't they? So that's my excuse, and I'm sticking with that one. We got Sprint and 0.3 of a second up in the second split there. Goodness me, it's almost off the circuit. I used it all the track, and then 7 for Sprint, and coming into 9 and 10 as well. Look at this, you've got to hold on to yourself, you've got to hold on for dear life going through 9 and 10 now. I think the Schumacher had a very Sprint goes fast as well. Very good time indeed there for the Sprint now. 2/10 second in front of Timmy. I was going to say that Schumacher had a very scary incident there. And back in 1998 in the Ferrari, didn't they? As he ripped off his front wing there. I think Talking to 98, Giancarlo Fisichella got pole position here, didn't he? As we had a very wet qualifying session here in 98, and it was a very damp qualifying session. Not only in terms of the not only in terms of the weather, but it's also, I think, for the first 20, 30, 40 minutes we didn't really see a car out, did we? I'm sure. I think Damon Hill was the first car out that day, wasn't he? In the Jordan there. I think up until that point, I think Jordan only scored a couple of points there, and then of course they went on to have that famous 1-2, didn't they? So they had a famous 1-2 in the Belgian Grand Prix, didn't they? A fantastic result indeed. They're probably one of the best races you'll ever see in the history of Formula 1. It's certainly my favourite. I absolutely love that race. Really good stuff. Oh goodness me, we've told us rain. Then look at that. There is rain coming down from the sky now. Oh goodness me. So Sam Jarvis and double JJ Dart Destroyer going to be very concerned about this one. And what about Asdog? He's about to complete his lap. He might get the best of the track conditions then, but these drivers might have been caught out by the sprinkling of the wet stuff then. Asdog, well, he ain't concerned, is he? Goodness me, rain or shine, Asdog is fastest here in Austin, Austria. I got the syllable right, I suppose. Gaz, that is just started. So is Dart Destroyer. Oh, but Dart Destroyer now is, oh, goodness me. I think he was going on to the old track there, wasn't he? Good, goodness me. Gaz had come out turn one as well. Lee saying, deeply good, I couldn't make it. But I can enjoy the stream then. Very, very good stuff indeed. And thank you for your company, Val. Val. Of course, I think not too long ago when Val made his debut in IRC, there, of course, he joined me in the country, didn't he? We just had a bit of a chin wag, didn't we, about Val and what he expects for the future. Then I think I wonder how Val would like to grade his season. Then it'd be very interesting to hear his thoughts on that. Then a lot of rain coming down now. Then I think that this is going to be. Oh, Williams is off. Oh goodness me! And Gas had to take a evasive action there as new destroyer. A new Dark Destroyer there. Had a very. He is off and he is done, unfortunately. He's Penny there, he's defending there as well. Look at the raindrops streaming off of the camera there. And we've got Gaz who's in trouble as well. Goodness me, this is an adventurous this is an adventurous lap then, isn't it? As Gaz is coming into the pits. So we've got Serious Motion then. What's going on here, Ginger? You moonlighted then. Oh goodness me, I only moonlight in the dark, my good man. Into the pits there comes Gaz then as we've also got Serious Motion now. Has Gaz got that rear end, got that rear sorted yet then? Unfortunately, I think the Gaz is looking very strong tonight. Unfortunately, the rain has come down the worst time for Gaz, hasn't it? So he's coming to the pits there, and unfortunately, he's going to be out of qualifying at 3, which is a shame there for Gaz, isn't it? We got double air out as well, but look at how wet the track is already. Look at the raindrops streaming off then. As Rachel said, he says he sorted it, thanks. Good stuff indeed then. So yes, of course, unfortunately Gaz couldn't show how stable his rear end was too much there, because unfortunately the rain came down at the worst possible time there for Gaz, which is such a shame, isn't it? And we just got double coming into the pits then, as unfortunately he's missed best of the track conditions. Penny there is cruising back into the pits as well, and my gosh, the sun is just absolutely bursting through my window and it's shining right onto my screen now. I'm very unhappy chappy now, and that means I've got to get up. Oh gosh. For God's sake, I feel like a 50-year-old here. Penny there just coming back to the pits as well then, is trying to very coolly trying to draw my curtains as well. I'm like a vampire. I don't like the sunlight. Oof. Oh my goodness me. Oh gosh, I almost got burnt now. Right then, Penny there is just come back to the pits, and this is the end of qualifying too, I feel. We got our top 10 shootout. We have our 4 drivers out of qualifying, unfortunately. Those are Gaz, Double, JJ, and New Dark Destroyer. Unfortunately, all out of qualifying, which is a shame, isn't it, Aaron? I've got so many cables here at the moment. Well, there we go. Let's get rid of one. Let's get rid of 2, actually. Oh, I'm feeling brave now. Let's get rid of 3. Oh, my word. There's a Penny now coming back into the garage as well. And you can see then it's 8 kilometers an hour here in Austria, isn't it? So I'm wondering now, how long is this rain going to be here for? It's going to be very interesting to see how long this rain's here for, because I wonder if it's just going to be here just for qualifying 2 and it's going to stop for qualifying 3, or is it going to get heavier then? Personally, I would like it to continue raining for qualifying 3 at this steady pace then, because I'd like to see what the drivers can do. How are they going to tackle the Austrian circuit in the wet? We got Val saying just had an unfortunate season 2, but looking onwards to the new game. Of course, the new game is coming out in just a couple of weeks, and of course the the beta. The beta has been released. Some lucky people have actually driven on the beta as well, haven't they? Unfortunately, I haven't had the beta because I'm not sure. I wasn't sure how to get it. To be fair, I was also a bit slow as well. Out of qualifying, then it's New Dart Destroyer, JJ, Double, and Gaz. Into qualifying 3 are Penny, Hogg, Brown, Matt, Dawson, Roscoe, Steve, Timmy, Sprint, and Asdog. Medium tires then for Steve, for Roscoe, for Matt, and for Hogg as well. Everyone else is on the soft tires, and 4 for medium, 6 for soft. Let's get going. Oh, goodness me. Serious Russian say new game, more sim based. Can't wait then. Like a kid at Christmas, and great stuff indeed. Then yes, and I'm looking forward to the new game as well. But having said that, if it's more sim based, then I'm going to be very much lost at sea, and I got to say I quite like the new story mode there. I'm very much looking forward to that. I'm quite yeah, the first thing I looked at when I seen the new game was about spectator mode, but I haven't seen much about it really. What I would like there is I would like the official graphics from the actual Formula 1 feed. That would really get my blood pumping then. Oh my word then. But of course and this rain is quite heavy at the moment, isn't it? Everyone is now on those intermediate tyres. So I would say that it's a steady intensity at the moment. Is anyone going to come out straight away, or are they going to wait to see if this is just a passing shower? And I would probably say then get out there and get a banker in there and just go from there. That would probably be my way of thinking anyway. But we'll see about that. And it's out of the pits now comes the Mercedes, and there he is. And he flies underneath me as well. Comes out on the circuit, and here he goes then. So let's see then let's see how difficult these conditions are. So let's go on board with Timmy. There he is now. As you can see, there is still a dry line out there. You have to stay within these train traps now, don't you? Because otherwise, you will get on the water there. You might aquaplane off then, and that's not what you want, especially around here then, because it's a very undulating circle, isn't it? The water will run from side to side then. Val saying damage on the rear and the sideboards of the car coming, apparently. I gotta say, I think we've been wanting that for years, haven't we, really? And I would assume, I haven't read too much about it, but I have had, I've had a sneak peek in the old forums and stuff, and you can't repair, can you, the side pods or the rear wing then, which is very good, isn't it? I love stuff like that, and hopefully it will make career mode a bit more exciting, which will be very good indeed then, because really then, because these Formula 1 cars in real life are very fragile, aren't they? Probably a bit too fragile for our liking, really. We do want to see them a bit, want to see them get a bit close in, rub against each other. Oh goodness me! But of course, not too much rub now, because it's not touring cars, is there? Timmy into the final turn as well then. So let's see who is going to be on pole position then for the Austrian Grand Prix. But yeah, I'm loving the damage roll then. So that's pretty cool. That is, see if you can damage the fore and rear wing then, because people can go into the back of your full pelt then. Remember what happened in 2008 when it was Kimi Raikkonen and Sutil? Remember that Raikkonen just completely misjudged his braking point in the Monaco Grand Prix of 2008 there, and went straight into the back of Sutil. Sutil was on course for his best performance at the time, of 4th position in that racing point, and unfortunately Raikkonen absolutely just turned the dream into a nightmare for Raikkonen, for Sutil, unfortunately. But the back end was completely damaged. Was it the diffuser was gone, the rear wing was damaged, and he couldn't continue in the Monaco Grand Prix. So really, something like that would be pretty cool, wouldn't it? How that do in the world of league racing? Well, it remains to be seen, doesn't it? Really, we have seen a lot of drivers go into each other, haven't we? Under the safety car, and of course all things like that. Then, but it will make it very interesting indeed. As I just on board, Serious Smash got a league race soon, so good luck everyone, and have a good one indeed. And thank you for joining us, Serious Smash, in the comment section as well. Then, all your comments are very much appreciated. Keep on coming in. Then, of course, we've got Rachel in the comments there. She is cheering on Gaz and Dart Destroyer. Then of course we got Val in the comments as well, just talking about we got Val who's in the comments there, just giving us his expert opinion, and also just talking about his season as well, and also enlightening us on the new features of the F1 2020 game. And I'm talking about the F1 2020 game. I need to be talking about qualifying. Shame on me. Timmy fast as that. No, he isn't. It's Stiggy who's faster than by half a second now from Timmy in second. Dawson is flying, but Roscoe is really rained on Steve's parade, literally and figuratively. He is a 10th of a second in front of Steve. Timmy in third position. Dawson in fourth. Matt's gone up in the third fast now. Then we've got 3 cars into the 12s now. We got Timmy in 4th position there. Dawson, great qualifying in 5th. Penny in 6th. Hoggins in 10th position there. He needs to find a bit more time then. We got Sprint then coming into the final couple of corners as well, and out of it as well. Look at that car. It's just refusing to turn, isn't there? Sprint there very much putting all kinds of lock on that car. I need 7 faster morning sprinters. I wonder if Sprint would have rather have had a dry qualifying all the way through. Then yellow flags in sector 2. Brown then coming over the crest there as well. We've got a 36 lap race coming up, guys. And so of course it's not just about the qualifying here tonight. It's also about the race itself. And it's the second to last Grand Prix here in IRC in season 9. And Penny as Brown goes fast instead. Mercedes Timmy has found some more time. He's found half a second, and that's a pretty impressive second time now. My goodness me there for Timmy. Very good 7D then. Is the cloud cover starting to move away from the track then? Well, potentially, but I'm wondering if it's going to be in enough time then, as we got 7.5 minutes to go in this qualifying session. As we come up the to the hairpin as well. Roscoe is now going for a second bite of cherry on board. Roscoe, I think that Roscoe is full of fuel, isn't he here? Matt is also going for a second bite of cherry as well. Indeed, he is. What about Steve? Steve is coming to the pits as well. And we've got a Dawson who's just queuing up. Brown is a 10th for a second down in the first split time. What about Sprint then? Sprint is carrying on as well. Look at that car, and it's just refusing. It's got a lot of understeer, this Renault has, hasn't it? Oh goodness me then. So Sprint there is very much fighting with the car out of the final turn there. Sprint goes 6 fastest now, and he has moved himself on the same row as Dawson there, who's Lawson, who's on a good. I've been calling him Dawson all the way through. Goodness me. Brown into the pits then. Is that Timmy going for a second bite of cherry? Nope, he's also in the pits as well. Roscoe, 4,500 second down on the second split time at the moment then. Very much keeping it almost up. He's 2/10 a second up in the second split time, almost 2.5 tenths up in the second split time as he's accelerating away and coming over the crest of the hill as well. Here is Roscoe as well. Is he abandoning his time? He is abandoning his time. He wants some fresh intermediate tires then. What is Matt doing on the car at the moment then? He is carrying on then, so let's see. Unfortunately, I've got his split times in front of me then, so we're going to have to see how he does then on the final part of that then. It's pole position there from Matt then. A 10th of a second improvement on Roscoe's time, and he is the man to beat then with 6 minutes to go in this qualifying session then. Oh, goodness me then. Sprint then is 38 tenths of a second down the second split time, but he feels that he can improve that. He's got the dowels on his steering wheel. He has improved by almost 3 tenths of a second in the final sector. That's a mammoth mega final sector. Really good stuff indeed there for Sprint. Absolutely mega stuff, Ben, for the Renault driver. Matt is going for it. Is he going for it again? No, he isn't there. He's about 2 tenths of a second down the first split time now, so I think the Matt might be coming into the pits then. As Matt then is out in the pits, and he's the benchmark at the moment. He's Steve then starting his lap. Then we've got Sprint, who is at 3800 second down in the first split. He's 6100 second up in the second split. My goodness me, how much fuel has this man got in this car? Well, a lot then, if it's a simple answer, isn't it? But let's see about the more complicated answer then. Is this the best way to do that? Is he going to be using the intermediate tires and the worn intermediate tires and all the way through this qualifying free session? And of course, I think it is when you're in the wet weather condition, probably sticking a lot of fuel in your car, and he's improved again. Sprint up, and he is really he's getting quicker and quicker at this stage. And Timmy is on a lap and here is Steve, the world champion of season 9. He is in the middle sector as well. He is going to be the next car coming across the line, and there he is as well. Then we got almost 5 tenths of a second, and he's less than 5 tenths of a second down in the second split time. Then is Steve, he's now coming over the crest there as well. Let's see what he can do then, and he is now coming in to turn 9, now into turn 10 as well. Let's see as he's out of the final turn. Let's see what he can do then. Here we go. Hold on to your breath, man. And Steve is pole position there. Oh, goodness me then. Fantastic stuff indeed. Hog there is improved, and then he's up in the 5th. Hog is, my goodness me, he's found an abundance amount of time. Hog has. Great stuff. We got Dawson then, who is just coming into the final turn, and he's got my most, Lawson. I keep seeing the D, that's why. Lawson out of the final turn then as well. And goodness me, that was a horrific saying out of context, wasn't it? Lawson there going into, well, going into 8th fast one, and a sprinter coming across the line again. He's found 2/10 second sprint out there. He's back up in the 5th sprint. It's good stuff indeed. That we got a racing point of it's not Roscoe, it's Asdog, who is now starting his lap as well. What about Timmy? Timmy is already on a lap. He's 2/10 second up. If he continues to be on the front row of the grid, he is on the front row of the grid, and that is what Timmy wants, isn't it? Good stuff indeed there for the Mercedes. Remember, him and Matt go an absolutely incredible battle for for the marbles, and that's the battle for second in the for third in the World Championship, isn't it? And of course the potential to go to the FIA to the IRC Gala. Matt then is he's now starting his lap as well. Hog is 5 seconds down, and so Hog then is he coming back into the pits then with 2.5 minutes to go then, even though it's wet. Then it's a short lap, isn't it? So I'm wondering if some drivers might go for a free lap run here then. What about Penny then? Penny is still on those is he on the same intermediate tires here? Well, he's 5/10 second down, Penny, so I wonder if he made a mistake then. He's just going for another bite of the cherry as well. What about Lawson out of the final turn? And Lawson is not improved then, unfortunately. He's got to find some more time in the bag then, as Brown then is just taking a more of a tourist route, hasn't he, through turn 3? Oh, goodness me, as Asdog is chopped off me bop. He goes 5th fast as well. Oh my word there. And him and Roscoe once again are going to be very close, like they were in Bahrain a week ago. Very nip and tuck indeed then. Good stuff there from Roscoe and Asdog. My goodness me, the two racing point drivers are looking very strong indeed. Matt in the second sector as well, 39 second up in the first split. Second split time, he's a 10th and a 10th and 3/4 up in the second split time. Pretty good there from Matt. Can he find some more time on the board though? He needs to find at least 6/10 of a second there to get on pole position. And yellow flag. One of the Williams is having some major issues. And Brown has he got no wing now? Brown. Let's take a look. That is I'm not sure. Matt coming across the line then, as let's see what Matt can do. He is second fast there. He's 3/10 of a second away from pole position there, but that's what Matt once said. And just take a look then. Brown has got no wing there. I thought it looked peculiar. It is peculiar. And but Dawson's 2/10 of a second up. That should put him into the trial, should it? It hasn't, not quite. And he had a bit of a disappointing final sector there. What about the two racing points then? Asdog is carrying on then. Roscoe is about to start his up as well. He's going to have his final bite of the cherry, isn't he now? Asdog out of the final turn then, and let's see what Asdog can do. He is now going for broke. It's all or nothing now for Asdog's point of view. Timmy out of the final turn, and what can Timmy do? Timmy has not improved either then, and he has dropped down as well. We've got Sprint and also out of the final turn then. Let's see what Sprint can do. Sprint is 2.5 seconds down, and I think that no, Hog is on an outlap. Is Matt on a quick lap at the one, and he's 82 a second down, and he would like Hog to get out of the way at this point, then won't he? Matt would then, because Hog is right in his line of fire, isn't he, with 12 seconds to go. I wonder if Matt might back off here. He ain't going to back off. He's carrying on then. Hog is carrying on as well, and Matt may be a bit unhappy with this. But of course, Hog is now just going for his fast lap as well with 1 second to go. He couldn't back off, could he, Hog? Couldn't. He would have missed the line there. Matt is finished, and so is Steve as well. So Steve's missed the line as well. What about the Haas car? Penny, he is finished in 8th position there. We got McLaren coming in the pits. There is Lawson who's in the pits. Hogg couldn't back off, could he? Because he would have missed the line there. Asdog is a 10th for a second up in the second split time. Then here we go into the final turn as well for Asdog. This is the last turn then. Lawson's retired from the session, and here is then Asdog out of the final turn, and let's see what he can do. And he is not improved by looks at it. But Roscoe has, he is 3,000 of a second to race the top two. Magnificent stuff with Timmy in fair position now. He wanted to join the party. Sprint there is a 10th for a second down. I think he's run out of fuel. Sprint out there, but he was going for a traditional almost 9 laps on those intermediate tires. Hogg's McLaren is refusing to turn there, isn't he? He's 2/10 a second down the second split time. I think this might be done. I think this might be curtains for Hogg in the McLaren then. But let's see then. Let's see how much. Let's see if he could absolutely outstanding final sector as well. There's Matt. He's out. He's finished in 4th position today, but he's on the same row as his rival then. Hogg out of the final turn. Hogg in. I don't think he improves. He stays in 7th position then. What an inter-qualified, magnificent stuff. But it's Steve who is on pole position then for the Austrian Grand Prix. So another pole position there for Steve. Magnificent stuff indeed there, but by the slenderest of margins there, 3,000 of a second. I think that's the closest qualifying it's been all season. Magnificent stuff from Steve, and what a way to get ready for the race itself. Magnificent stuff indeed there. And look at that then. Really good stuff. The front three is separated by less than 0.2 of a second. Oh, that's low. Well, it's completely night and day, isn't it, darling? We had rain in qualifying. Well, we had rain to finish off qualifying. We're going to have rain in the race as well. At the moment, it's a beautiful day, but I think it started off very wet. Very dry in the in the opening couple of minutes in qualifying, didn't it? But here we go then for the start of the Austrian Grand Prix, round 21 then, as we are coming to the end of our journey here in IRC Season 9 then. And what a season's been then, of course, this has been all about Steve, hasn't it there? Very much Steve has been, it's been super Steve, hasn't it? It's been absolutely sensational Steve. My word then, and I gotta say, as I keep saying, and I don't think anyone's going to break those records, but the records are there to be broken then. But I must say that someone's going to have to really go some to break any of the records that Steve has created this season as well. So we've got a formation lap first, and I think there's 36 laps around here. Indeed, there is. We confirm that PB is in the Ferrari tonight. Then as he said, the Red Bull team, of course, the Red Bull are also the constructors champions as well, I think. So Red Bull then, so Red Bull ain't going to be always. Matt's been disqualified there right from the get-go. Him and JJ have both been disqualified, so that's not a good start then, is it? But of course, as long as they're in the race end, that should be all fine and dandy. Lap for so we've got 36 laps around the year. We got Steve's on pole position there by 3,000 of a second from Roscoe in 2nd position. Timmy in 3rd position, and he is on the soft tyres then. He is the only driver in the top 6 who's on the no, he isn't. I'm telling Porkies. Timmy is the only driver in the top 4 who's on the soft tyres. Matt is on the medium tyres in 5th. Asdog is 6th on soft tyres. Sprint is 7th on the soft tyres. Hogg is in 8th position. He is on the medium compound tyres. 9th position, 8th position is Petty on the soft tyres. Lawson in 9th position. 10th position is Brown in the Williams. And outside of the top 10 is drivers who can start on any tyres they want. Then Gaz in 11th position now on the soft tyres. Double Cream Cat in 12th position. Also on the in the Alfa Romeo on the medium tyres. 13th is JJ on the soft tyres. New Dart Destroyer 14th on the soft tyres. And PB in 15th position then on the soft tyres as well. Though that is the grid then for the start of the Austrian Grand Prix as well then. And here they come then. They just come around then to they're just coming around now then, as here they come into the final turn then. See on pole position, and I've got to say, he's basically, he's reserved that role for himself this season, hasn't he? And there are the two cars of Matt and JJ then just parked on the line then. Here we go now. So Steve is going to be a bit, Roscoe is not shy going into turn 1, is he? It's quite a sizable run down into turn 1, isn't it? I think they might be concerned though by the soft tyres of Timmy. He's also on the front row, he's also on the racing line, isn't he? And a lovely shot here as well. As the green flags are fluttering all the way around the circuit as we're about to get going. And indeed we are, and the green flags are away. And there are the lights then for the Austrian Grand Prix. 5 sets of lights are on. We'll be racing here in IRC. It's lights out and let's go here in Austria. And then Roscoe gets a good start, and but I think it's Asdog who's had a cracking start, and as we go down to turn. Oh, Roscoe's got into his teammate almost there. And oh gosh, they're rolling. Asdog there straight lining and going up into a third position now. Oh goodness me. And now we got Gaz in Lawson there, who's fighting. Double is also having a look as well. Look at this as they're coming up into turn 4 as well. Turn 3, I should say. And up the inside, there's contact, and he's been spun around, or he hasn't been spun around. Good stuff indeed there for Lawson. Good stuff indeed then. PB is left for session, and that's not good. Hopefully PB can get back in a jiffy then. As Steve is in the Grand Prix, Roscoe second, Asdog in third position, Timmy in fourth, Hogg in fifth, Matt in sixth position, Sprint seventh, and Brown is eighth. Ninth is Lawson, 10th is Double, 11th is Gaz, 12th position is new Dark Destroyer. JJ has got past the teammate, but he's got damage there. Penny is down in 15th position there as well. So unfortunately, Penny on a difficult start. He's dropped down 7 positions so far, Penny has said. So that's not gone to plan, has it, for Penny, unfortunately. We've got Asdog going at 2 positions there. We've also got 2 positions there for Hogg, 2 positions for Brown, for Double, and we've got Lawson, who's also got past Brown as well. Brown is out 3 positions. Oh goodness me! And oh gosh, sir, and that's a huge smash. And Brown there. Oh my word, there. It's look at this, and I'm not sure if oh gosh, I'm not sure the McLaren sin Brown there or whatnot, but goodness me, as the tower is sorting itself out, and as Brown is also sorting himself out, oh goodness gracious me there, that's not good at all. JJ, who I think he had a 10-second penalty, didn't he? We've also got Steve Penning is in the pits as well, so he has got damage on that Haas car, and we're just completing the opening lap. And here PB is back in the session as well, as Penny is also Penny has just exiting at the pit lane. And JJ has got he's got a 5-second penalty. I apologise to JJ. I thought he had a 10. I'm sure he said 10 seconds there. I'm maybe speaking absolute pork, he said, so I apologise for that. I've got to sort myself out then because I'm completely in the wrong place. Sorry, and Steve leads then by 10 seconds there for Roscoe in second position. Asdog then once again. Asdog, who's got some pace late on in this season. I think he's doing a magnificent job, isn't he, Asdog? It's very good stuff indeed. That yellow flag is the Williams car of Brown then trying to recover after him, and Lawson came to blows then going down the pit straight there. Unfortunately, I think Lawson there just was trying to go back on the racing line then, but unfortunately he didn't realise how close Brown was then. So that's unfortunate indeed, isn't it? Going up into the airport as well is Asdog. Then of course Asdog I think tapped the rear of his teammate. I think it was just a slight nudge there, nothing too major there, because it looks like he's got a full wing now. Asdog, but he had a great run, didn't he, going up into turn 1. Good stuff indeed. Timmy I think he had a good start, Timmy did, but unfortunately he had to take evasive action there, and because Asdog was steaming through, wasn't he? And he is up into a third position at the moment then. Asdog, and he's giving the front 2 runners there on those medium tires a run for their money as well. In terms of strides, then we are expecting 1 stop around here if it stays dry. Of course, we've already had wet weather, haven't we, here tonight in the qualifying session, as that was really interrupted the great qualifying session, wasn't it? So are we expecting rain again in the race? Brown is only just coming out of the pits. The only problem is if you have a major incident around here, you're almost certainly going to get lapped then. So even if there is a safety car in this Grand Prix, which potentially there could be quite a high risk of a safety car here tonight, it's a bit old school, isn't it? There, there's not many runoffs around here, is there? So I would say that if there is a safety car, Brown needs to make sure he does not get lapped here. Otherwise, that could be his race all gone, unfortunately. Roscoe is, I've got to say, Roscoe is looking very strong at the moment, isn't he? I would say that Roscoe's race pace is much stronger than his qualifying pace, but I think that he's really showing it now, isn't he, and he's only 3 thousandths of a second away from Steve from taking that pole position. Roscoe was looking very strong indeed. Once again, both the racing points. This is what I was expecting right from the get-go, as PB has just got past Destroyer dropping down to the 12th position on his debut tonight then for Destroyer. This is about the learning game, I think, tonight for Destroyer, but of course there's still a good opportunity there for points for the Williams driver now. So yes, indeed. Then so Williams team would love to get some points, wouldn't they? As they've got the Haas team to be very much not the Haas team. So I think it's the Ferrari team, isn't it? They're fighting with in the constructors' championship, if I'm not very much mistaken. They're about 3 points away from the Ferrari team at the moment, and Roscoe there is just putting pressure on Steve. I wonder if the racing point drivers, and this is where team orders might come into play here. Look, Timmy is now starting to sneak up behind her. Look at Sprint, and he's also giving Matt something to be concerned by. But I was just thinking then, I wonder if the racing point drivers might do a old switcheroo and perhaps do like a tag team kind of move there. Roscoe lets Asdog through. Asdog's on the soft tyre, and he might put the squeeze on on Steve then. But of course that's if they want to. Of course, they might not want to do that at the moment, but at the moment the Racing Point team are looking very strong at this race so far. They're second and third, and that's exactly what they would be loving to be doing right now. Going a bit wide there on the curb. Gaz is now almost very much on the rear end then of a double at the moment. Double is about 3 seconds away from Lawson, who's on the soft tire, and Lawson doing a good job at the moment though. Now McLaren, very good stuff indeed there for Lawson. And on board then with Gaz at the moment as he is just mirroring double at the moment. I think he's dropped back slightly, hasn't he? As he just wants to look at this, as he just wants to get a better slingshot, doesn't he? He'll also be too close here, does he? Roscoe is very close to the back now. As he look, there's Timmy. He's inching closer, isn't he, in that Mercedes? So I think that Timmy is definitely not out of the woods of this one yet. Now he's almost in DRS range of Asdog as well. So all good as speed then. So this could become potentially a 4-horse race now for the Grand Prix win then. So this one is far from done. Oh look, Steve's got to go to the fence and there's a Roscoe's going on the outside into turn 3. He's going to go up and under, but Steve is defending that absolutely splendidly well. That's textbooks from Steve. If you want to defend your corner, you would have opened your textbook and then you would have seen a picture of Steve. Magnificent stuff indeed there. He stays in the Grand Prix lead at the moment. And there's Asdog there, who's just keeping tabs on these front two at the moment. Gaz there is having a look on the inside of double, and Gaz has got the soft tires. Double is on the medium compound tire at the moment. Gaz has got damage so on that Haas car there, so that's going to be a lot of understeer there, isn't it, on Gaz's Haas? And I'm not sure if he just got that or whatnot, but let's hope not, because I would like to think that because Gaz up to that point has been very strong on the old pace. Right, and here's another man who's strong at the moment, and it's Roscoe going on the outside, and Steve is going to defend. Then Steve has got the inside corner, and Roscoe's going to do a switch through there, but he hasn't got the momentum, but he does have the DRS. He also has the slipstream as well. Look at this, we can hardly see that Racing Point now, right underneath the rear wing of the Red Bull. Roscoe on the outside, Steve going to go on, he's on the inside there. Steve is not giving up. That's great racing there, fantastic stuff there. And let's look at this, and Roscoe got to go on the outside there. Gaz has got past double as well, and now on a great scrap. Double and Gaz are, and that's Gaz with a damaged wing as well, and so fair play to Gaz. Good stuff indeed then. Well, sprints all over the back of Matt, and 2 Racing Points are now starting to come into combat as well, but also got a bit of a squirrel, didn't he? Going into turn 8, unfortunately, coming over the crest as well. Look at this, first, second, third, right in the same frame shot there. Oh my word, it's Lionel Stern, isn't it? Over the curbs as well. Wow, incredible, isn't it? Absolutely great stuff. There's Timmy in the background now. That luminous Mercedes there just sitting in the background of this race, isn't he? And I think he's ready to strike then. That's a great exit there from Roscoe, isn't it? And he is now going to give Steve some major cause for concern then. So Steve, how's he going to defend this one? So Roscoe goes on the inside, passes Steve, and he is through. Steve is going to go on the inside. Oh, great positioning there from the world champion. Magnificent stuff there. And Steve is back through. He is back in the lead as well. Fantastic stuff, Ben. And Roscoe going to go on the outside, and how late is Steve going to break? Wow, impressive, isn't it? Sprint has got past Matt as well. Matt is dropped down to 6th position there. Roscoe going back on the outside then. Oh, goodness me then. And look at this, and wow, amazing stuff indeed there. Matt is back on the inside as well. Look, Roscoe's on the outside. Oh, my word, me then. That would have been fantastic. On board there with Roscoe. Oh, he's had a swapper there. And look at this. This is the second Racing Points. He's going on the inside. Oh, that's a not very good camera shot, is it? And look at this then, and now then it's up into second with his shot. Asdog is down for it goes Roscoe, but Roscoe is coming back at him almost straight away as the 2 Racing Points are now starting to get very interested each other. That might allow Steve to break out of the DRS zone at the moment as he is struggling, and Matt has still continued as kept Sprint at bay as well, and as Sprint then is back down to 6th position there. So great racing between those 2 as well. And of course, that's basically answers our question, hasn't it, about the team orders debacle. There is no team orders in the Racing Point team. It's out there fighting tooth and nail. Timmy there, the gap was 2 seconds. It's now down to 1.3 seconds there. Val in the comments there saying, look at the Racing Points there. They are looking strong, aren't they? Very strong indeed. And so are the 2 McLarens. As Lawson there it's very much come into this Grand Prix in a blaze of glory. Actually doing a great job in that McLaren there. Fantastic stuff there from Lawson. Really good stuff indeed. Very impressive from Lawson right from the get-go. Back at the front then, which is definitely taken up most of my attention at the moment. There is Brown then. Unfortunately, him and one of the McLarens came to blows earlier on this race, and unfortunately he's fighting an uphill battle now, isn't he? Through until the end of the race. I hope he'll be open for a safety car of some kind in the not too distant future. But however, unfortunately, he is. Oh, gas is off the circuit now, and that's it. Oh goodness me, that's at the middle part of the track there. He has got damage on that nose cone, hasn't he? But we've got Matt who's dropped behind the sprint as well. Then Matt does have DRS over, doesn't he? Because the detection zone is. Oh my word, there. Where's the detection? I think it's at the end of the final corner, isn't it? But let's sprint out up the inside. Passes. As we've got yellow flags as Gaz there, just trying to return back to the pit. So the sprint has got past now. Matt's on the medium tires, of course, so isn't he? So Matt may not be too disheartened by that. And, oh my goodness me! But now we've got the two McLarens. I once again, oh Lawson there! Oh, he's flipping the bird at his teammate there. Oh goodness me! As Lawson there, I think a bit too unhappy about Hogg getting a bit too close there. Remember then, once again, team there's a battle within the battles tonight, isn't there? Between the teammates, we've got the racing points in the front. We've also got the McLaren team in 7th and 8th position as well. Goodness gracious me, there no team orders whatsoever here tonight. It's the gloves are off, and we love to see it as well, don't we? And look at this, that is Hogg is all over the back of Lawson once again, and battle the gap in the front is still 8 tenths of a second away as they come over the crest of the hill there, going into 9 and 10 then. So at the moment, the McLarens then are status quo, and this is the closest battle on track then. Is, oh my goodness me, Hogg had a great run there out turn 10, and look at this, and you can see now visibly he is closer. Is he going to have a lunge on the inside? Not quite then. We also seen Steve and Roscoe getting very close for company at the top of the hill as well. And you can see then it's getting quite cozy up there now, isn't it? In the top 4 as well, because Roscoe's going for it. Roscoe is going for it again now, but he's too far back. And of course, this is the Red Bull ring, as I was mentioning, qualifying. I don't think I've finished off my little monologue about Austria, did I? Which is absolutely shameful. But of course, it was called the A1 ring when it returned then back from 97 to 2003, before it became the Red Bull ring when it returned in 2014. Martin is still 5 tenths second away from sprint. Now, sprint is not actually sprinted away, pun intended. So yeah, I'm quite surprised by sprint now. He's all over the back of Matt then. But now the roles are reversed kind of figure. Matt is just keeping in touch then, isn't he? Look at the two McLarens out there, leaving it all on the track, and that's exactly what you want to see. And as they come over the crest, I love that shot, by the way. It's great, isn't it? As they peek over the top of the hill before throwing it into 9 and 10 then. So at the moment, and this is not helping Hogg's strategy, because Hogg there is on the longer, on the medium tires, isn't he? And he's now being held up quite considerably on from his teammate. But of course, his teammate should, this is racing, isn't it? The driver should be selfish. So it's a very unique situation, isn't it? But we'll come back in a minute, because Roscoe's on the outside again into turn 3 there. Steve is defending like a warrior. Magnificent 70 there, and Roscoe, he's going to be a bit frustrated, isn't he, at the moment? As he can't get past it at the moment. Asdog is dropped back. Look at him, he's out of the DRS range as well. Asdog is now. Asdog then on one of those soft tires now starting to fall off the cliff. And then going over the curb as well. Roscoe is, and this is brilliant racing so far. So I think we're about a third distance through the Grand Prix, give or take a lap there or two, or maybe 4 or 5 then, because I've got to say my maths is absolutely appalling then. We've got a couple of great battles out there, haven't we? Look at this, and the two McLarens once again are looking at very strong, and they oh goodness me, then we've got a Williams off at the top of the hill. That's unfortunate there, because up until that point I think that Dark Destroyer was doing a good job then of job, wasn't he, on the in that Williams there? Of course, he had a bit of troubles in qualifying, but the race that he's been very consistent, hasn't he? But unfortunately, he's off the circuit. Matt is the first driver to come into the pits there. He is thrown on the soft tires. Is that a 2-stop strategy now for Matt? Let's find out, shall we? Because I thought it would be a simple 1-stopper, but I don't know nothing about strategy. Oh my goodness me, he's tapping Steve, and Steve, of course, has downhill braking, isn't there? As of course, Ross can get a bit overzealous coming in to a turn forward. So there he's really trying to distract Steve, isn't he? He's all over the gearbox of that Red Bull. Jan saying, wow, what an incredible race, and it's absolutely fantastic, isn't it? It's about quality, not quantity here tonight. I've swung my tongue. It's a fantastic stuff indeed. Then we got Lawson in 7th position now. I'm going to call him Dawson now, as long as I commentate on him, and it's It's appalling how it really is. And into the pits there comes Timmy and Sprint. Asdog is elected to stay out here then, so the undercut is very much at play now for Timmy and Sprint. I wonder if Matt has forced those two drivers his hand there. I think he would have done, because Matt coming into the pits there, because he was going for the undercut, they would probably lose their position there, but Matt has gone for the softer tyre in the second stint, which means he's going to have a bit of a sprint. I'm going to put a bit of a sprint on now, isn't he? Dawson is now in fifth position. Matt is in sixth. He's out in front of Timmy and Sprint now, and the undercut is paid off nice and handsome there from Matt then. I know he's trying to get past the McLaren of Lawson up the inside there. Matt is sides through on the softer shot, Alfa Romeo. He is through and in fifth position, I should say. So yes, the undercut has worked, and so Matt there is going to be a major problem then later on in this race as well. We've got a Williams of Destroyer. Oh goodness me, sorry, it's not Destroyer. Is Brown then, who has gone off, and it's I think he was pushing, wasn't he? Unfortunately, that's the downside, isn't it, when you're trying to get yourself back into the Grand Prix. But unfortunately, Brown then having a couple of issues then as well. We've got a very good battle here between. Look at this, we got Timmy Lawson and Sprint, and the McLaren now is feathering off, and he's coming into the pits as well. It's a very difficult pit in here, isn't it? As you're very much right in the line of fire, aren't you? Matt is all over the back of Hogg. Then he's now in the fourth position. He sets the fast lap of the race then, and I think that is really going to ring at the alarm bells into the front two. Brown is out of the Grand Prix. Unfortunately, having a nightmare starting this race. Matt is 20 seconds behind Ross going to see at the moment. So keep an eye. Remember that gap. Remember the gap, because this front two are going to be coming into the pits, and they are absolutely electric still, aren't they, on those medium tyres? But I don't think they're going to come in until probably another 5 laps time, perhaps, then on the medium tyres. How long are the soft tyres going to last for? Well, PB has been the longest on the soft tyres thus far. 14 laps then for the Ferrari driver, PB. So it's not bad innings there, and he's also keeping tabs on double at the moment. So yeah, I think he's doing a good job on those soft tyres, PB is then. So he is going to be very much the measuring stick now, isn't he, of the top drivers there. They're going to be keeping an eye on Sprint, and they're going to just have a look to see what Sprint is up to then, perhaps then, on those soft tyres then. So very, very good something that Matt is really catching on the front two, hand over fist then. He is on the soft tyres, of course, then. He is going for the shorter run in this stint then, but this is, but of course, there is about the who's going to be the quickest overall. And at the moment then, Matt is certainly the quickest in the Grand Prix thus far. To me, is now half a second, I should say, away from the top two. There they are. From the two in front of him, and it's Roscoe then who'll run out of a straight there. As the battle at the front there is still very much alive. And wow, Aston on the inside passes the. Has he got damage? As Asdog's got damage there, he's got damage on the end plate. When did he get that for Asdog? I didn't even notice it. Oh goodness me, Asdog's got damage, and I'm not sure how long ago that was. That is going to really affect Asdog. And once again, Asdog's been great. Is there damage on that Mercedes as well? There is, there's damage on both Asdog and Timmy. I'm not sure if they come to blows or whatnot, but of course, when I see two cars with damage there, I'll put two and two together, and I come up with 22 then, which may be completely wrong at this juncture, but we'll find out, shall we? So do not. Dr. Stroy's got look, Timmy is coming to the pits, and so I'm thinking, oh my word, then, and look at this, I think Hogg had to get out of that because Timmy is coming into the pits. So Timmy is in the pits, and unscheduled stop here for Timmy. He's got a 5-second penalty as well. Timmy has, and that's frustration for the Mercedes driver. Oh, what a shame now for Timmy now, because remember, he's got an intriguing battle, hasn't he, with himself and Matt for the third spot then in IRC, the IRC World Championship Sprint. Has got past Hogg and moved up into fifth position as well. Lovely camera shot here. Then Asdog then is limping, isn't he? He's a wounded racing point, isn't he? Asdog is, unfortunately. So, but we'll see how that progresses. Timmy coming out of the pits as well, and it's a very difficult pit exit here. As long as you don't crash into that barrier, you should be fine as well. I know a lot of drivers have crashed into that barrier before. Look at Steve there. Goodness me, that was sweet as a nut. That Haas car has gone right off the circuit there as it comes back on, and Steve then is just going to be a bit wary of that car. JJ is just got JJ's just overtaken PB as well. PB has just gone in the pit, so he's on the fresher medium tyres, PB is, and he's looking at home in the Ferrari, isn't he, here tonight? As of course, he's making a one-off appearance, and PB is as he's coming up the Going up the hill as well, good stuff indeed. Roscoe is still really hounding Steed, and look at this, and Steed is feeling the pressure. He's had 18 laps then of into the pits comes Hog now. He's had 18 laps then of this racing point, very much all over his grill, hasn't he? And Steed has not been deterred so far. It's been great racing from both drivers. Really impressed indeed that Hog into the pits, front on the soft tires now until the end of the race as well. As we've got an Alpha. Matt's in trouble. Matt's in trouble there. As I don't think he's damaged the car, but he's lost a huge amount of time. It's back under 20 seconds then, Matt has then. And so I'm wondering if he spun out the rear wheels then, and unfortunately then the car just spun around, didn't it? What about the two Ferrari drivers? And his PB is back in the 10th position. It's a great performance there from car 27 PB, and 27 is very infamous for the Ferrari. Oh gosh, and just I say that, he's in the wall, and PB has damaged the Ferrari. Oh, I'm so sorry, PB. And oh goodness me, I was about to say the Ferrari, the 27 now is quite famous, isn't it? Now, so Jean Alesi was the 27 Ferrari, wasn't he? And of course, we also had the one of the best drivers to ever grace Formula 1, Gilles Villeneuve, as a virtual safety car. Roscoe is very much been oh goodness me, he's lost a lot of time, but luckily it's a virtual safety car, so hopefully I'm too bad. Asdog has decided to come in the pits and roll the dice. What tires are going to go on then? Let's see. Is those the soft tires for Racing Point? It is a soft tires, you know. Then so Asdog going for the soft tires as well. If let's see how long is that. The nose cone is also being changed as well. Then, if the virtual safety car is staying out there, I wonder if the front two are going to be able to get into the pits from here on in. And doubles now to a very strong 5th position here. Then Asdog coming out in that 6th position there, and DRS has not been able to do. Well, that answers my question. The virtual safety car wasn't out for long enough. Steve Roscoe did lose a bit of time then, but luckily there's a Ferrari off then. It was PB then. Oh goodness me, I'm so sorry PB, because I was saying he was out in a great race, wasn't he? Right up until where I decided to give the commentators curse there. I absolutely apologise profusely there, PB. Absolutely, that was a poor show for me. Into the pits there, can see then. So smack back on a one-stop straight there. Medium tires had us on at the moment, and the pit strategy there. It's going on the hard tires. I think it'd be the it's hard tires there for Steed, and it's going on the hard tires for the Red Bull. Yellow flag is the Ferrari coming into the pits there. Hard tires as well then for Roscoe as well. And so the front two going for the hard tires now to the end of the Grand Prix. And here's Matt then. And of course, without that spin then, of course, I think Matt would have been much further up the road then. Well, I think he had a spin anyway. Look at this. He's going to be out right in the meat in this sandwich, in this battling duo here. And there he is. And so Matt then is not in DRS just yet then. And we got yellow flags there down into the I think it was one of the cars. I think it was one of the lap cars getting on the way, wasn't it? I think it was Dart Destroyer that just got out of the way there. Very, of course, being very generously Dart Destroyer on his debut there. Remember, today was just about a building block, wasn't it, for his career for Dart Destroyer? At the moment, he's in 13th position there, so not doing a too bad job. His first stint in ALO was quite impressive from Dart Destroyer. So, yes, he's still very much finding his feet in the World Championship. Asdog up to 5th position now. He's 15 seconds away from sprinting, and good 17th there for Asdog. Roscoe is on the fresh shod hard tire. Matt is on the soft tire at the moment, just in front of us, and Timmy is all over the back of Hog at the moment there. So Timmy is on fresh medium tires, and Hog is on the soft tires. No one in the top 8 then has no one in the top 8 has a penalty at the moment now, so very good 17, sorry, in the top 7. Timmy does have a penalty, so does JJ, and so does Dart Destroyer, but no one else has penalties on this very notorious track that does very much throw penalties out left, right, and centre, and so very good stuff indeed there for all the drivers at the moment. Roscoe, and of course, Roscoe and Matt, and these two drivers are never shy, are they, of really going for an overtake. Asdog is set a fast on the race, he's on the soft tyres, isn't he? I'm thinking that the soft tyres should get to the end of the race, I would say, for Asdog, but of course, the front two are quite a way in front of everyone else, aren't they? Look at this as well. Sorry, Roscoe going up the inside. He passes Matt. Then is Matt going to go up and under? No, because Roscoe there just blocked off that avenue quite quickly, didn't he? There, and it really slammed the door shut on Matt's toes. Then Roscoe up in the second position. Matt down in the third position. He has a 4-second gap between himself and sprint at the moment now. Timmy there is still behind Hog at the moment. Of course, our Hog has got those soft tires there. So I think that Timmy there might have to just wait his turn by this time then, and let's see what we can do then. So just now, it's just watching Timmy, and we're on board with Timmy. Matt is very much then the closest to Roscoe, so he's carrying on. It's just carrying on at the moment, and just seeing what he can, just seeing what he can do as well. And is accelerated the way down. As he's now then coming, he's just too far back now, though, isn't he? Matt is 8/10 of a second back in the moment. He does have DRS, and doesn't he? So, but I feel that Hogg has got past Double, because Double is in the pits then. So what tires is Double going to go on then? Let's go on board with the Alfa Romeo driver then, who's in a very strong place in this Grand Prix at the moment, isn't he? As we've got Lawson there, who's doing a great job on his return to IRC. He's not very good stuff indeed. That Alfa Romeo mechanics, there they are, they're in the shade then, as now going on then. What tires are on it? Now Doa is on the soft tire as well, as similar strategy then to Arstock here as he comes out of the pits. That's a Ferrari who's just ghosting now as well. I was wondering who was very close to Lawson then, but it was I think it's PB that just knows unfortunately a lot behind now after the issues he had earlier on this race. Gaz is now just come out in. He's in the 11th position. He's on the cusp of the points. Then we got Penny then, who's right behind Double. But Double is on those soft tires now, so he will have a pace advantage. Double will. He's got a 15-second gap. So now Double can really put the hammer down. He's going to put some qualifying laps in now. I think Double is then, and once again the Mick Hakkinen Trophy leader then is very much showing his talent, isn't he there? And of course that's what the Mick Hakkinen Trophy is exactly made of, isn't it? For the likes of Double, they're really showing his. Oh my God, sir! And Hogg there has gone off and into the barrier. And yes, he took too much curb on the outside by the looks of things there. And Hogg there, he's only just coming to the pits on the soft tires. That is not a very good time to do that at all. It's not a good time to do it any time, but that is appalling luck there from Hogg. And he's going to have to come back into the pits now, isn't he? A major blow for the McLaren team and for Hogg himself. He'll be kicking himself then. Hogg will be. What a shame then. Timmy has now got him in the 6th position. So Timmy's now got a lovely part of the track now, see, where he can just also get some laps down as well, similar to Double's position then. But Timmy is onto the medium tyre, whilst Double is onto the soft tyre. Let's take stock. We're on lap 23 out of 36 here in the Grand Prix. We got Steve leading now by 3.3 seconds from Roscoe in second. They're both on the hard tyres. Third position is Matt. Then Matt is dropping back now on those soft tyres. But I think Matt will be going on soft tyres until the end of the race as well for his second and final stop then. Sprint then in 4th position. Now, I don't think Sprint will come in again then, but I have been wrong before. 5th position is Arstock then. Unfortunately, Arstock damaged his nose cone, as did Timmy as well, and that's why they're a bit off. They're a bit behind the 8 ball when they was very much in the thick of things right at the start of the Grand Prix. 6th position is Timmy then. Lawson, great drive in 7th position. Hogg is having to make an unscheduled stop. He's coming into the pits now after spinning up his rear tyres at turn 10. Unfortunately, he's in the pits and he's going to wait for his McLaren mechanics at Double in 9th position, Penny in 10th position as well. His teammate Gaz 11th position, 12th position JJ, 13th was PB, and Destroyer in 14th position as well. One retirement so far. Brown out of the Grand Prix, and Hogg then has just changed the nose cone. Where's he going to come out? Into the pits comes Penny as well. He's also done 21 laps on those hard tyres. That's a stint, isn't it? Very good stuff indeed there. I think Hogg will still be in the points here because the Ferrari of JJ is quite a long way back at the moment. He's coming out of turn at 10 as well. So Hogg is still the points there. Let's see what we can get from here on in there. Alfa Romeo coming through as well. This is Penny we're just looking at as well. The Ferrari is coming down the pit straight. We might see him at the top of the screen. He's in that Renault, but I think the Ferrari there is just behind him. We might see him if we had a long shot there. And there he is in the background, JJ there. So JJ was going for the undercut there, but unfortunately he was a bit too far back in. Penny there has done that strategy absolute to perfection now. He is up in he's in 11th position now. Then he might have a difficult time now of getting into the points from there, but we shall see. On board then with Hogg then, so Hogg is now going to be putting in some qualifying laps, won't he, to see what he can do, and running a bit over the curbs there. Hogg is he is in 10th position as well. Look at that, he's straighting up the car and he's feeling a bit nervous, but when we're on board with Hogg, he's feeling a bit nervous on the old rear there, isn't he? Hogg is he's trying to straighten up the car as much as possible. I'm wondering if that spin there has really made him starting to second guess then the performance of that McLaren, and that is not what you want, is it? Especially in the final stage of the race then. But hopefully those soft tires shouldn't go off then. We've got those soft tires should be well within the window here, so that's something that at least Hogg does not need to worry too much about then. There's the race leader Steve, who's just completely disappeared out of Roscoe's radar now, isn't it? Roscoe down to almost 5 seconds behind Steve at the moment. Steve is starting to pull away quite nicely, isn't he, in the race then? So good stuff indeed for Steve. Matt then 12 laps on those soft tires, and he's no sign of the Alfa Romeo mechanics getting ready just yet. But sprint is now going to be very much on Matt's mind, isn't he? Sprint now on a great run in fourth position on his return tonight as well. Sprint, and it just shows what a shame that Sprint wasn't able to take part in this season fully. Then perhaps then he would have perhaps then he would have tried to what am I saying? I don't know what I'm saying. I've got completely confused there. There we go. Anyway, enough about that then. Oh yeah, Sprint then. I think that Sprint then, it was such a shame because I think the Sprint would definitely have been in the championship fight. And would he have made it more difficult for Steve? Possibly, but Steve is just on just on an absolute different level at the moment, isn't he? Steve is this season. He's been magnificent. If a sprint has been in if a sprint has been very much on the been on his A game in like a full season, then maybe Sprint would have changed the outcome of the World Championship. Possibly, you never know. Of course, F1 spirals backwards as if. Of course, we cannot surmise that, but Sprint is definitely a good driver, and I think he would definitely have been in the top 3 of the World Championship battle this season. But I think that Steve's performance this season is second to none, isn't it? I got to say, I believe that Steve has just elevated himself, hasn't he? And of course, he's a worthy world champion as well, especially when he, especially in the league this season, then with the likes of the double world champion T. Sammy. Penny's off the circuit now. Penny is off the circuit in the Haas car, and I'm not sure what's happening there for Penny now. So he's got some issues there. Has he got issues over for steering? I'm not sure, but is there a technical failure there for the Haas car? He's apart in the gravel there. Penny is in a major issue there for the Haas car, for car 57. What a shame, because he was on the outskirts of the points, and with Gaz, he's coming in the pits as well. I think Penny has lost a point scoring position here tonight, then, which is not good for the Haas team or for Penny himself. And what a shame. Matt's just thrown on the soft tyres. Now he's going to have a qualifying. I'm going to have a set of qualifying laps into the end of the Grand Prix. Into the pits there comes the Haas car. He's also Gaz that going onto the soft tyres as well. But JJ's already got past it and up into 10th position then. Penny has got some major problems there, and he's been disqualified then, so that's our second retirement in the Grand Prix. Penny, I think that's technical gremlins there for Penny, and he is disqualified and out of the race, unfortunately. August moved up into 9th position now, so good 17th then. And so that's a shame now for Penny. And he parks up then on the escape route. The Austrian marshals then are just going to be going to the car, and we'll be wheeling him off the circuit then. Is that going to be a virtual safety car or a safety car? I don't think so, because I think that's in a very safe place, isn't it? But going back then, yes, I think that and Steve has been an absolutely magnificent world champion, isn't he, of course. When you have a grid full of like the double world champion T. Sammy, of course, Max Hugh was leading the championship for most of the way last season, wasn't he? He's beaten those two drivers, and he's beaten Matt then. He has beaten Asdog, he's beaten Roscoe, of course, drivers that are very much that have been multiple Grand Prix winners. There's been a lot of impressive names in the field, isn't there, this season, but Steve has been the most impressive of them all, hasn't he there? And I've got to say, he's definitely been the king, hasn't he, this season, Steve has there. But the beautiful thing about this game, about this world, about league racing and IRC is that you can never counter, you can never rest on your laurels, can you? You can never predict the future. Next season there on Formula 1 2021. I don't think Steve is going to be sitting back and relaxing and thinking that it's going to be an easy season, because it certainly isn't. It's like there's going to be a lot of drivers chomping at the bit. This now we already mentioned about the F1 2021 game in the opening sequence in the qualifying session, didn't we, earlier on this race? So yes, it looks like it's drivability slightly different and all that kind of jazz. And so looking forward to that, and I think Steve will be as well. But there's going to be challenges lined up, and I don't think Steve, for any stretch of the imagination, I don't think Steve for one moment believes that he's going to be walking away from it, because I think that this season he's very much he's been incredible, hasn't he, Steve? On board Matt at the moment, and Matt would be fairly happy with his situation at the moment, because he is outscoring Timmy, and I think he'll be within 2 points of Timmy now in the battle for third. Then that one's going right down to the wire in Abu Dhabi, but he can't get past Asdog. Asdog is got 8 laps older tyres than Matt has, so there he is there in the foreground there, and that has got to be Matt's opportunity then to get him in the 4th position. Sprint might be a bit too far at the road. He's 8 seconds away with just 5 laps to go in this race, and for Matt to overtake then. So I think that 5th position might be the maximum that Matt might that could hope for tonight. But I think that And that's yeah, but I think he'll be very happy with that result then. Of course, Matt is starting the medium tyres and he's gone from medium to soft then. Of course, Matt Hassan, I think he's the only driver in the top reaches of the points then to go for a two-start strategy, apart from Asdog, of course, but Asdog had to come in the pits because of a damaged front nose cone, didn't he? Unfortunately, everyone else there has done a one-stop strategy, haven't they, till the end of the Grand Prix there. But of course, Steve and Roscoe have just followed their own groove, haven't they, here tonight, and gone from the medium to the hard tyres. Everyone else has gone from the soft to the medium, or the medium to the soft tyres then. But I got to say, then the two front drivers had, well, they win their first and second, haven't they? So they have definitely nailed the strategy tonight, haven't they? Good stuff indeed then from the front too. They were probably just settling down now to the end of the race head, and Roscoe will be very happy with tonight's performance and very good stuff very good stuff indeed there for very good stuff indeed then for Roscoe and for Steve as well. Sprint also on the podium as well. Good stuff indeed for Sprint today. In terms of driver of the days and things like that, that's going to be a very difficult to judge, isn't it, really? Because there's been some very good performances tonight, and I think Steve once again has been the measure stick. How he repelled Roscoe in the opening stint was absolutely mega stuff indeed there. I think Gaz there just misjudged the breaking point, but he's still on the circuit. Good stuff indeed there. He just absolutely was battling. Yellow flag there. As I think it's the Williams car just getting out of the way at the moment. There's a Ferrari gone right off the circuit there, and who is that? That's PB, who's gone right off the circuit there, coming back onto the grass there, and he's in 12th position. What a shame for PB, as potentially, well, he would have been he would be in the points there, wouldn't he, on his first outing for the Ferrari team, as we already mentioned. The famous car 27 there on the Ferrari, and it just feels right, doesn't it? Matt is now within DRS range, isn't he? Good stuff indeed. Then we've got destroyed anytime submissions at turn 3, and he's out of the Grand Prix, and yes, and that's is that a perilous position then? He's on the gravel there, I think. He's on the gravel there, isn't he? The Williams car then, and oh goodness me then, and that car is a very oh goodness me, is the AI was just trying to get himself out of the way. Then that's our third retirement here tonight, here in Austria. So that's unfortunate for Dr. Straw then, but I think he had a very good he's had a very good debut tonight, hasn't he? Now then, here we go then, Matt and Asdog. Then we've had great races before between these two. We've had great battles between these two before. I think we're going to see another one here tonight as well, and so very much this one's going to be is this one going to be simpler than we've seen in the past? Then I got to say, when Matt and Asdog go into battle, then I don't think it's ever that straightforward, is it? But we'll soon find out. Matt is on fresh tyres. I think he's got 8 lap younger tyres than Asdog at this stage of proceedings, hasn't he? So I think that Asdog might not be able to pull up too much of the fence there, but I do think that Asdog is not going to let this one lie, is he? Especially as he's in a very strong full position. Asdog in the last couple of races has been magnificent, hasn't he? I think Asdog got a cheeky little DRS there off of JJ there, and it looks like that Matt there, and then that's kind of nullifying the DRS threat that Matt's got there. But Matt's in the slipstream as we come up in to turn number. Oh goodness me! I thought he went to the back of Asdog then, very close there, wasn't he? But yeah, Asdog there as JJ is it JJ or is it PB? I'm not sure. It's one of the Ferraris, isn't it? Yeah, sorry, it is JJ's, and I'm thinking that JJ's done 9 laps on the medium tyre as well. And look, it's JJ there. Of course, he's a ghost then. As he is being lapped, of course, isn't he? But that's very distracting, isn't it? There, you can see that ghost car does get very distracting for the drivers, isn't it? It's the closest battle on track at the moment, and we're on lap 34 out of 36 here in Austria as well. One more race to go for Formula 1 2020 on for IRC, and of course that is in China in a week's time, isn't it? That could be the last race we see in China for the foreseeable future in IRC then, so we might have to make the most of China in a week's time then. So I don't think it's on the next game, is it? If I'm not very much mistaken, but of course it's all if buts and maybes at the moment, isn't there? So we don't really know until we know. Gas there. Oh goodness me, JJ. As I think that JJ's had to really get the move on, because look, Gas is right underneath the rear wing of the Ferrari, and look as Matt goes through, passes Asdog, and moves up into a full position then. Yeah, so oh gosh, there, and Asdog has gone right into the back of Matt there, and he's damaged the end plate. He does have 16 seconds gap then, so I think that he should be okay then. But Asdog, oh goodness gracious me, then went to the back there of He went to the batter and Matt there, didn't he? He's now going to be limping there. JJ is, of course, he's going to be feeling the pressure. This man here is Gaz Harris looking for some more points then in his Haas car as well. Then and look then, and so JJ is really going to put his toe down nicely for the final stage of the Grand Prix. And look at this then as well. Look at that Ferrari getting very wayward as well. Asdog then is also, of course, Asdog then has damaged the car as the Timmy. It's got it down to 15 seconds, but still got 2 more laps to go. Gas! Oh my goodness me, they're really throwing it into turn 9 now. Oh goodness me. Oh, he's well off the track there, Gaz. Is that ended his challenge there for the final point in this race? I think it may have done for Gaz, but he's still on fresh soft tyres, isn't he? Well, quite fresh soft tyres anyway. So it's not all done and dusted yet, is it? Timmy does have a 5-second penalty for his troubles. He's the only driver with a penalty now, so good stuff indeed there for all the drivers out there. So Timmy, the only driver with a penalty, and that penalty shouldn't oh goodness me, that penalty shouldn't cause him any problems because he's 13 seconds in front of Lawson then, who's going to get some major points then in IRC indeed then. Is that his first point of his IRC career? Let me just quickly get up the old stand-in, shall we? It will be as well because it's only a second Grand Prix start for Lawson there, so good stuff indeed there from the for the McLaren driver. Good. I think this is a very solid performance here from Lawson. Very impressive stuff as JJ going very wayward as well. Steve started his final lap here in Austria as well. So let's see. So there's going to be some winners. There's going to be some losers, which is quite obvious, isn't it, really? Of course, this is a Grand Prix, isn't it? There's always going to be winners and losers in the sport. Into the final quarter as well for Gaz, and Steve's at the top of the hill, isn't it? Steve is just on his final tour of the Austrian Grand Prix. A magnificent stuff indeed that as JJ is going to be looking over his shoulder. See Gaza get on the power a bit too heavily there. We see the Haas car a bit swirly on the old rear there, isn't he? So he may have lost a bit of momentum there, but he is still gaining next. He's in DRS of JJ. JJ's got no DRS at all now as we go up into turn number 3. It is turn number 3, isn't it? And look at this, he's all over the back as well. Steeda is coming up into turn 9, and I know I'm going to make a decision there. I really have, and I think I might have to break away from this battle because it's getting very juicy. But Steve is coming out of the final turn then, and Steve wins the Austrian Grand Prix. Fantastic for him and for the Red Bull team. And look, Gas is on the outside of the Ferrari now as we've got a great fight to finish off that. Remember, this is for a point. This is for a point in the race, and they're both a lap down then. So of course they're on the on lap for 35, but of course then they will, as soon as they cross the line, it will be over for these two drivers. And Gas might miss out here because JD has done just enough for us. He has indeed then, as Matt is up in the third position there in the end. I'm not sure on the sprint as coming across the line there. Good stuff indeed then. I'm not sure on the sprint then. The sprint there is done 22 laps on the soft on the medium tyres then. Is there a problem there for sprint? Well, Matt got in the third position as well then, and that is crucial for his battle for the final points then. For third position in the World Championship, isn't it? From Matt then, and he's going to be taking over that third position as well now. With that third on the road tonight. Good stuff indeed then. So great stuff there. But see then, the Grand Prix winner once again here in the Red Bull Ring then. And of course, I gotta say, Steve, another Grand Prix winner, another trophy on his mantelpiece. I must say, he's gonna have real troubles, isn't he? Trying to fit all those trophies. He might have to get his own trophy room, Steve, after the end of the season. Fantastic stuff indeed. Ooh. Double cream cat driver today. Cannot argue that then. I got to say, he was a bit under the radar today, Double was, but my goodness me, he got the job done to absolute perfection. Now, that is exactly what you need, isn't it? Great stuff indeed there. Shaney Boy said he'll take P30. Now, I think that Destroyer did a great job today, to be fair to him. I think really good stuff indeed on his first league race as well then, and I think his first stint was particularly strong as well there for Dr. Destroyer. Very impressive stuff indeed there from the Williams driver today. So I got to say, he's got quite a lot to be proud of there. Unfortunately, didn't make it to the end of the race. There was a couple of laps shy, but a good debut nonetheless there. Destroyer. Let's take a final look at the classification, shall we then, from the Austrian Grand Prix. See there, great battle between Steve and Roscoe in the first stint now, getting very much on the edge of your seat stuff, wasn't it? Great stuff indeed. Roscoe in second today. Matt there, got on the podium, and he stole that final third position away from sprint and the very last emblems of the Grand Prix. Fifth position there was Asdog. Sixth position was Timmy there. He had a 5-second penalty. Lawson, his second Grand Prix start in IRC. He's got his first points of his career. Double in eighth position there. Driver today from 12th to 8th. Good good stuff. Hogg had not finished now. He made a mistake, didn't he? Otherwise, Hogg would have been very much in the around 7th or 6th position in the Grand Prix. JD getting the final point in 10th position. Wow, repelled Gaz right at the very end. PB in 12th position there, and that was the final finisher. PB could have got some points as well before I put the commentator's curse on him. Retirements in the Grand Prix. Dark Destroyer on his debut there. He was a couple of laps shy of finishing the Grand Prix with Penny and Brown. And that is your Austrian Grand Prix here in IRC. Well, of course, we've got one more race to go here in IRC this season, and then that is, of course, the Chinese Grand Prix. That is next week then, and as I said, then it might be the final race that we have in China in IRC for quite a while then, so we've got to make the most of it. Of course, that is next Thursday then, so of course, that is going to be a great finale, isn't it, to the Grand Prix season of Season 9 of IRC. But from here, it's goodbye.